So this is a demo of Outager. Outager is a status page which monitors your services, manage incidents, and keep your users informed with our clean and simple status page solution. It is deployed on Vercel. The front end is Next.js and the back end is Express, which is deployed on Render. So before we get started, I'll show you a demo of what the status page looks like. It can show you the active incidents in a thread-like format. It is connected to a WebSocket for live updates. You can see the services of a particular organization, if they're operational or not, if they're degraded, and all the statuses. Then you can see the recent incidents as well with the timestamp in a thread-like format, so you can follow up on any of the incident. Now let me go back to home and let me sign in. I already have an account and I'll first sign in using an admin of an organization. So let me sign in. Note that I'm showing this on the actual deployed website, so it can have a little bit of latency. Okay, so this is our dashboard. We have 2 out of 3 services which are operational. We have 0 active incidents, and the overall status shows issues in some system statuses. These are the recent incidents and these are the services. Now let me go to services page. Here you can add and change the status of a particular service. First let me add a service. Let's say backend API service. Let me add the service. Yeah, once you add the service, you can see here that it has been added and it is operational. You can update the status to any of these following. Let me put it on degraded performance. The status has been changed. If you go back to dashboard, here you can see that there are 4 services now and 2 of them are degraded. Next we go to incidents. Incidents are basically related to linked to a particular service. So you can see 2 incidents were reported. Now let me report the incidents. Here you can write rate limited by backend API, rate limited. Now let me just copy paste this same message and let me put the link service as the backend API. I'll create an incident. Yeah, so once I create an incident, it shows in the active incidents and you can see the status as investigating. You can add or change the status based on the different time you are actually monitoring. So you can change to identified, monitoring, or resolved, and then add a status. And then lastly, you can go to settings. These are your organization settings. Since you can see that I'm the admin of the organization, I can see all the information, and I also have a tab of teams. So this is how you can add members to your organization. So here comes the multi-role and multi-permission authentication system, where I can add team members to my organization, and only those team members are able to add services and add incidents. If a user is just a viewer, he can only view the incidents and services and cannot do anything different than that. Now let me let me just open a new tab. Okay, let me just sign out from here and let me log in with a simple user. So rishi.example and here password. Let me sign in here. Let me save the password. So currently I'm an admin of a different organization, and this organization doesn't have any service or incidents. Let me just create a new user so I can be part of an organization. So user a at example.com, password, save. The user has been successfully created, and now let me log in into the new user. If a new user comes, he cannot see anything because he's not added to our organization, but he can create an organization. Let me open a new tab, new window, and let me log in again in the organization admin, and let me add the new user as an viewer or a member. So I go to the team, I add member, I search his email address, so it was user a at example.com, and I can give him any of these roles. I'll give him a viewer only role, and I can add the member. Okay, so once the user with this email not found, okay, let me check it again. Settings, team, add member, user a at example.com, viewer, add member. User, okay, it's small caps, user a, add member. Yeah, the user has been added as a viewer, and if I come here and refresh this page, you can see the organization which I've been added to. So I can see the loading dashboard, and I can see I've been added to the organization of company B here, and the overall status is good. Now let me again log in using the admin of company A, which had different incidents, and let me add that as a team member. So add member, user A, and I'll add him as a viewer, add member. Okay, I've added the user A as well as a member of company A. So if I go again and refresh this page, I can see that I'm now in company A and I can see all the active statuses. Now the user can't do anything. He can't add service, he can't add incidents, and he also doesn't have the ability to add team members. So what he can do is he can just go to the view public page. Now this is the public page of company A, which you can see it has a live status. So we are connected to a WebSocket which actively puts the different updates live on the website. So I've logged in here as a user and I've logged in here as an admin. So as you can see, rate limited is still investigating. Now let me come here. I'll go to the incidents. I'll add update as monitoring actively, and let me add an update. Okay, so the update has been added and it is now showing you monitoring. So the WebSocket will do a connection here, and as you can see, without refreshing the page, the new update has been logged here, and you can see it monitoring actively. actively. So this was a brief overview of all the components in Outage, where we have connected different services, we have different incidents, we have different dashboards, we have role-based mechanism, and etc. I'll quickly show you the database design. So we have 7 tables. We have a profiles table which gets all the users. We have our organizations table, and then we have the organization members table which relates the profiles and the organizations. Next we have incident services and incidents and services table, which are related by the incident services table, which join the two of them. And then we have the updates table, which just gives the updates of incidents. I'll also show you the code quickly. You can see the backend has been properly structured into config, which has the Supabase config file. Then we have the routes of the different APIs. We have the WebSocket API as well, and in the routes you can see the different incident.js organization. This is all the code, and it's well structured code. In the front end as well, it's well structured. If you go to store, we have the Just and state management tool for doing the authentication store. Then we have an apis.js to connect the backend APIs to the front end in a good function manner. We have the websocket.js, which uses the client IO socket to connect to the backend WebSocket. Then we have the shared scene components, and in that folder we have the app routes of dashboard, demo, sign in, sign up, and the select page, which is the company page. Thank you.